Hello and welcome back to the Onshape. Today we're looking at a Key Stage 4 or 5 tutorial where we're going to make an indexing joints head for something like a lamp where you want degrees of motion, and this will make it controlled. So the one we're going to make will run through 5 degrees of motion. So let's get started. It's left mouse button in red and right mouse button in blue. So I'm going to click on Sketch, and the plane is going to be the front plane, and then press the N key. Now, I'm going to start by drawing a center point circle, click the center, and the first one is going to be 6. So, time we select it, we can press 6. So, if I just show you that again, we click once, click again, don't touch anything. The next one's going to be 25, and both of them become defined sketches. They've gone to black, so we can press the tick there. So, there's our part there. We then press extrude, sketch 1, and I'm going to extrude it 15. And I'm going to make it go in the opposite direction just to make our life a little bit easier. So there's our part. Next we want to cut a V into this. We're going to click Sketch, click on the top plane and press the N key so it spins round. Now these are the dimensions I use because I know these work. So I'm going to go from down there and out and back to the center. Now this dimension here needs to be 2.5 and this dimension here needs to be 1. I'm then going to repeat that on the other side. I could mirror it, but I'm just going to draw it and make sure that dimension there is 1. And then cut that middle line. I will just put it back in and do the angle. Press the tick. It's probably telling me it's not dimensions. It doesn't know that it's on there. Anyway, we're not going to worry too much about that. So we've got our triangle shape there. We're then going to press extrude, sketch 2, new, and not worry that it's pointing out there as new parts, because this comes the part where we do a circular pattern of this part, rotate it around, and remove it at that time. So we go up to circular pattern, which is the linear patterns here. You click the arrow and you get circular pattern. So entities to pattern is part 2. Axis is the center circle there, and it gives you start with 4. If I type in 36, I get remove merge with all. That will give me 10 degrees of motion. Okay. If I want 5, we up it to 72. And you get some small triangles in there. Okay. So that's the hard part of this done, really. I'll just put this back into isometric. For ease, I'm then going to select part 1, click mirror, which is there. So part 1, mirror plane, front. And you'll get the idea of how these parts go together. So they're going to slot together like that. Now, one little thing we tend to do is we run the bolt through from one side and have the wing nuts on the other, so you can use the wing nut to adjust how much you push the two parts together, which gives it the interlocking. If you want to extend this, you can put a hole in there and a recess for a spring inside, so it will spring apart more. But we'll just keep it simple for the moment. And all I'm going to do is add the captive nut cut out to this side, so the bolt will go through with the wing nuts on the back there. So to do that, we go up to our custom features, and I've got one called captive nut. There's another video on this. There'll be a link at the end if you need that, just to find the captive nut. Now it's already set up. It says ISO 6mm. So it's asking us where we want to place it. That's what this blue, and use the make connector there. And I'm going to click. Now it's careful. We don't want to click the center of the cylinder. We want to click the top surface there. So the nut comes in, we have to press merge with all, and we press the tick. And you can now see that's where your nut head, or the head of, sorry, not the head, the nut, that's where the bolt, your hexagonal bolt goes through. It can pass through both parts, and there you can put your wing nuts on the end. So just to show this working, if we go to assembly, so in the assembly I'm going to press insert, part 1, and press the tick. So part 1's come in. I'm just going to move it a little bit away from the origin just to make my life easier. I'm going to click fasten mate. We're going to click the origin, and we're going to click the center of that. Now you can see it's rotated round. That's not a huge problem. We can click on mate, click the mate connect to the bottom of there, click on move, and then change it to rotate around the x-axis at 90 degrees, or it'd be 270, sorry. And that comes in there. So that's part 1 in and around the correct way. We can then do insert part 2, and we can use the Revolute to make this time. And I want to click the front of that one, and then the front of that one. Now you will see they mesh up, but we've got a slight, if I just press tick, you can see they're slightly overlapping at the moment. We can fix that. We go back into Revolute, and I'm going to click the move, and I'm just going to pull them apart for the moment. So I'm just put a 1mm gap in there, so you can see where they are there. And if we use the control there, you can see how this moves. I can line them up a bit better there, and you see how they go together. Now, if I'm honest, that Revolute mate there probably needs to be 0.5. There we go. And that locks them together. And that's how it works, basically. You can then extrude off of the arms here, and you've got one coming down, one coming up. So that's basically it. I hope that's been helpful. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. See you again soon.